I'm tired of the triple flows, bye to the written prose, high to the kitchen hose that I hold inside your throat. Bite the flow inside a riot rifle, adding quiet doubt and violent with the ultraviolet side acquired from my trials on this mic. If I was silence here tonight, just so my lyrics and spirit will feed the fires I light. Let it rise so we turn the tides. Right here in PG, hip hop's alive. Y'all can't stomach what I come with. I've been spilling my goods.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get free batteries. Now that's a positive. Or maybe a negative. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back with our reaction series. So today, man, today is not Thursday. Today is Wednesday. But listen, we missed Mother's Day last week, so you guys are in for a treat. We're going to double down and do a double dose of Marshall Mathers of Eminem this week. And I thought, what better way to do it than to continue the revival journey and to check out Walk on Water. Now, quick disclaimer, guys, I have heard this track before, but I've never ever seen the music video. Hopefully it doesn't get blocked, fingers crossed, but I'm excited to jump into this one. Also, a quick announcement, guys. I read a stat the other day that 70% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed. Do me a favor, watch this vid. If you like it, consider supporting the channel directly. Hit that subscribe button with notifications on. But anyways, we're here for this one. Eminem, Beyoncé, step up to the plate. Let's see what you got. Wow.
But only when it freezes.
That's dope.
Why?
So, what I love about that is kind of there's just this intrigue that's created at the beginning because you have that focus on the light. And at first I thought it was like a winter storm or something, but then it starts panning down and we start following the camera and we realize that it's a beam of light, and you hear the different almost tuning effects, like you're tuning in old school radio in the background, and you have Beyonce's voice and her singing that hook, but it's more drowned out and down in the mix. Again, just vocally creating that intrigue as well. And then eventually we slowly reveal the light shining on that one microphone, and there's Eminem silhouetted on the side, hood on, reflecting, ready to go. It just sets the mood in the scene so well. All right, let's get into this.
When it freezes.
What is that? Is that him ripping the pages? Yeah.
Why are expectations so high? Is it the bar I set, my arms I stretch, but I can't reach? A far cry from it, or it's in my grasp, but as soon as I grab, squeeze.
Far cry from it, grab, I squeeze. Hear how he's using his cadence to kind of throw off the sound of the scheme a little bit, because he comes like higher with it and then he'll drop right back down, and he's mixing two different rhyme schemes here.
So
hang on.
Why are expectations so high? Is it the bar I set, my arms I stretch, but I
bar I set, arms I stretch, and then he changes, it goes into a different scheme here.
Can't reach a far
can't reach, and then he starts playing off of the hard E sounds as well. I mean, just nice mixing of different rhyme schemes and different uses of his cadence at the beginning here. And we never know where Eminem breathes. Eminem's just a monster.
So high. Is it the bar I set, my arms I stretch, but I can't reach? A far cry from it, or it's in my grasp, but as soon as I grab, squeeze, I lose my grip like the flying trapeze. Into the dark I plummet, now the sky's blackening. I know the mark's high.
Flying trapeze, now the sky's blackening. I mean, the way that he could just take words that blackening, trapeze, don't normally rhyme. And he just has this way, like unlocking this puzzle in his mind, and the way that he uses his diction just to bend those words. And I love that losing my grip, like a flying trapeze. You know, if you're trying to grab that trapeze as you're flying through the air, life's like a circus act almost. And if you lose your grip, you plummet and you fall back down to the earth. And this to me, this piano is so chilling. It's so haunting. And the reflection and the vulnerability that Eminem has on this. This is this is a raw one.
Like the flying trapeze, into the dark I plummet. Now the sky's blackening. I know the mark's high. Butterflies rip apart my stomach, knowing that no matter what bars I come with, you're gonna heart gripe, and that's a hard fight getting to swallow. So I scrap these. There's pressure.
Instead of saying, you know, the idiom, that's a hard pill to swallow, For M, since he was addicted to Vicodin and different pain pills he uses, that's a hard Vicodin to swallow. So ironically, he's playing off of his own issues and his own addiction while using it to create the bar and the punchline.
That's a hard Vicodin to swallow. So I scrap these. This pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking because
this pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking. Hear how he starts to get a little bit aggressive, and then he pulls it back in. He brings himself kind of back down to earth there. I mean, the microphone control, man, on this one is great. I mean, it just captivates you. And then obviously increases, like your khaki pants are increases, but also increasing, rising.
This pressure increases like khakis. I feel the ice cracking because
I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water.
This is awesome.
But only when it freezes.
it's the curse of the
I love how Beyoncé is the one singing this, because to me it takes another superstar to create a song like this when you peel back and you look at the lyrics here. I walk on water, but only when it freezes. Because when you're at a certain level of celebrity and you have just a crazy, overwhelming fan base of stans, Beyonce has her overwhelming fan base as well, it's easy for us to want to take these celebrities and to lift them up almost like gods almost, the way that we follow everything that they do, the way that we almost worship them in a sense. So to say those lines, I walk on water, because Jesus, infamously in the Bible, walked on water, one of his many miracles. But in this sense, they're saying, I only walk on water when it freezes. I'm not Jesus. I'm not godlike. You need to stop putting me on this pedestal because I'm human like you. And Eminem throughout his verses shows us the vulnerability and the emotional insecurities that he's going through and battling on this.
But only when it freezes.
It's the curse of the standard that the first of the Mathers disc set. Always in search of the verse that I haven't spit yet. Will this step just be another misstep to tarnish whatever the legacy, love, or respect I've garnered? The rhyme has to be perfect, the delivery flawless, and it always feels like I'm hitting the mark till I go sit in the car, listen and pick it apart like this shit is garbage.
Pick it apart, hitting the mark, this shit is garbage. Again, you hear the multi-syllable rhymes. And to talk a little bit more about the visuals, I love how he's experimenting with that light. Like, he puts his hand in the light on the hook and finally he steps into it. And then as he's rapping to a, empty audience, you just see little blurs in the background of past shows and past things that have happened. And he sat there, of all things, on the typewriter. Very, very old school, just showing us kind of, I am old to this game, and I feel like I've been here for a long time. And to me, him writing this on a typewriter, he doesn't write every single one of his raps on a typewriter, but it's used to make a statement. And obviously, we know that the critical acclaim with the Marshall Mathers LP and what he's saying there with the Marshall Mathers disc, right? And then he came out with the Marshall Mathers LP too. And some people loved it, some people didn't. And it's just like, it's him now addressing the critique of him that, oh, we want the old Eminem back. You'll never be as good as your past self. So in a sense, he's always fighting and battling his own ghost.
Till I go sit in the car, listen and pick it apart like this shit is garbage.
And that's what I do too, man. Throw the CD in the car, drive around, listen to it, reflect, and then critique the hell out of it.
Till I go sit in the car, listen and pick it apart like this shit is garbage. God's given me all this, still I feel no different regardless. Kids look to me as a god, this is retarded. If only they knew, it's a facade and it's exhaustive. And I try not to listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent.
Mission accomplished. And you guys hear in the production, just the strings now. I love all the different orchestral sounds and the different string instruments that help to build and help to just raise this sense of unease and what's happening.
They knew it's a facade and it's exhaustive. And I try not to listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not God sent. Nas, Rakim, Pac, Big, James Todd Smith, and I'm not Prince. So
James Todd Smith, shout out to LL Cool J, who we know has heavily influenced M. I did a video where M prank called LL and just paid him such homage. That was just a great video. I'll find it. I'll put it in the description below. But also he shouts out Rakim, a.k.a. the God MC. He shouts out Nas, God's son, tattooed across the belly. One of Nas's famous lines. And obviously, rest in peace to Pac, rest in peace to Big, up in heaven right now. So he's shouting out some of his list of hip-hop greats and in true Eminem fashion, paying homage. And he also pays homage to another great, to Prince as well. And this is kind of M reflecting an interesting one to choose, Prince, saying I'm not Prince, because, yeah, Eminem is a pop icon as well. You know, he's had so much mainstream radio play. He's been in the public eye for so long, and it's not just for rap. I mean, some of the collabs that he's done with Ed Sheeran, with Pink, with Beyoncé, with all kinds of other pop artists. You could argue that M sometimes falls into the pop genre just because of the new audience that listens to him and the new people who find his music. So I love how he chooses that one, because it's like, no, I'm not that either. I'm not any of these labels. I'm not God. I'm just me. And I'm dealing with all this. And you figure one of the most successful rappers in the world, you know, in terms of sales, in terms of records, in terms of everything that he's accomplished. You figure of all people having self-confidence, it would be him. But this is just impactful to me, because it's him going, no, I still don't have it all together. Even at this point in time, even after all these years. And to do that and to really open yourself up on a track like this, yeah, I love the raw emotion of it.
Listen to nonsense, but if you bitches are trying to strip me of my confidence, mission accomplished. I'm not Godson, Nas, Rakim, Pac, Big, James, Todd Smith, and I'm not Prince. So
I walk on water, but I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water, but only with
Was that his old house shouted out in the background? It was. Hang on.
water.
Yeah, there we go. There's your Marshall Mathers cover right there.
But only when it freezes, 'cause I'm only human, just like you. Making
Nice build.
mistakes, oh, if you only knew. I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh,
it's true, I'm a
How good is Beyoncé?
to let you down. Oh.
It's true, I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest.
Goof and I jest, beautiful mess, Rubik's. I mean, just again, the multi-syllable schemes, man. The writing is still airtight. I mean, even during this period of Eminem.
I'm a Rubik's, a beautiful mess. At times juvenile, yes. I goof and I jest. A flawed human, I guess, but I'm doing my best to not ruin your expectations and meet 'em. But first, the speed 'em verse. Now Big Sean, he's going too fast. Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? There was a time.
The Speed'em verse, and we broke down Speed'em on this channel. I was so impressed by that, and Eminem's ability to rap in that fast pocket, and hell, he even rapped faster than Tech 9 on that. I mean, that was just another level. But what's funny to me is that years later, we go back and we dissect and we reflect on just how great it was in terms of what he did and accomplished on that, stepping out of his normal lane. But then, at the time, he received such criticism for it. And he still receives criticism today that he's too complex, that he's too good. Yeah, haven't we addressed that? It's funny how even then he's addressing these things. And yeah, I got something else to say on it, but we'll get to it later. I mean, he does it too on the Big Sean feature, doesn't he? Have I even heard that one? Shit, maybe we'll break that one down tomorrow. If you guys want to see that one tomorrow, comment below. Oh, what happened? I just turned captions on too. We don't do captions around here. Go away.
Now Big Sean, he's going too fast. Is he gonna shout or curse out his mom? There was a time I had the world by the balls eating out my palm. Every album song I was spazzing the fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned.
That's a dope ass scene right there when he has just the different outfit changes and just the different clothes that he's worn over the years. Dogs are going crazy right now. It's all good. It's fine.
Frowned on, but the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long?
I gotta appreciate that one more time.
Fuck out on, and now I'm getting clowned and frowned on, but the only one who's looking down on me that matters now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long?
I love how you can hear his breath there, and it almost feels like he's gonna lose it there. You just hear that intake of breath, like he's still processing that one. And rest in peace to Proof, his best friend, man, who inspired him so much and helped get him to where he is today. And just dealing with that loss. And honestly, it is one of the reasons why Eminem relapsed and fell back into addiction and painkillers and went through that whole period of time, because mourning the loss of his friend, it just sent him back down into that deep, dark hole.
Down on me that matters, now's Deshaun. Am I lucky to be around this long? Begs the question though, especially after the methadone is yesterday fades and the Dresden home is burnt to the ground and all that's left of my house is lawn. The crowds are gone. And it's
all that's left of my house is lawn, the Dresden home, because an arsonist set fire to that. A woman wanted to turn that into a museum. That was a big story, and then the city of Detroit just got rid of it. So now his old childhood home and all of that is now gone. And I love, you can feel the emotion. Hear how he gets more aggressive there, and he just starts to build again. It's constantly like pulling you in, like he just gets aggressive, and it feels like he's really going to take it to another level. And then it's almost like he stops himself, and then he drops back down, and he gets more reflective. And then as he builds, he gets a little bit angrier, and he pushes you again, and then he stops, pauses, breathes, brings it back down again. I mean, just the in and out of this one, it's almost like playing the strings with your vocals, the way that the movement of his flow goes.
Ground and all that's left of my house is lawn. The crowds are gone, and it's time to wash out the blonde. Sales decline, the curtains drawn, they're closing the set. I'm still poking my head from out behind, and everyone who has doubt remind. Now take
obviously the blonde, Eminem with the bleach blonde hair, the Slim Shady, the old references.
Out behind, and everyone who has doubt remind.
Is it snowing? That's really cool.
Now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let them tell you the world no longer cares or gives a fuck about your rhymes. And as I grow out of sight, out of mind, I might go out of mind. Cause how do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made a fucking tightrope out of twine?
Oof. When he made a tightrope out of twine, making something out of nothing with his life. He came from poverty. He came from nothing, and look where he is today. And I love how that snow starts to build, and it all relates to that line. I only walk on water when it freezes. Well, here it is. You know, everything's freezing over. Everything's getting cold. He's losing fans. People say he'll never be the same again. And this song, and even this album, to me is a turning point for Eminem, isn't it? I mean, we haven't fully dived into Revival. We need to dive into Revival. But the songs that we've covered and that I've heard on it, it's a huge turning point. And for me, that turning point is almost like this could end. This could be it, because he could just give in to all the insecurities and all of this. But somehow, even through this song, he finds that strength. He finds the reason why he does this, and he finds that extra gear to just push on. And then you fast forward, and you get us to Kamikaze. You get us to the music to be murdered by us. But without Revival, you don't get those. This is a key moment in his career and his own psychology to me, especially a song like this.
When I do fall from these heights, though I'll be fine. I won't pout or cry or spiral down or whine, but I'll decide if it's my final bow this time around, cause
I walk on water.
That's it right there. I'll decide if it's my final bow this time, if this truly is the end. I will end it in my own time. Not your time, not the critics' time, not even my own fans' time. I will decide my fate within my time. This is him sort of rising up and seizing control of the moment and taking his own fate into his own hands.
But I ain't no Jesus. I walk on water.
Was that Slim Shady Frozen with the bleach blonde hair? I think so.
But only when it freezes, 'cause I'm only human, just like you. I've been making my mistakes, so if you only knew, I don't think you should believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm tired.
Love that little melody that matches her voice. Doo 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 doo. Just, that little harmony right there is beautiful in the production.
Believe in me the way that you do, 'cause I'm terrified to let you down. Oh, if
That was Stan we just saw written there.
I walked on water, I would drown.
cause I'm just a man, but as long as I got a mic, I'm godlike. So me and you are not alike, bitch. I wrote Stan.
There it is. I love that little record scratch there. Not alike, possible future shout out. Eminem being a savant for his own discography and what's coming. But you and me are not alike. I love that aggression at the very end. It's almost like, remember what I've done. Remember the classics that I've given you. Remember what I'm still capable of. And Beyonce's last line too, walking on water. Hang on.
Me and you are not a
I'll drown. I'm just human at the end of the day. I can't walk on water. I love how she ties it together with that beauty. But Eminem couples that beauty just with almost like a challenge at the very end. He's still got that fire and he's still got that passion burning inside of him. Man, this is a great song. It really is. Yeah. Eminem, Beyonce. You are Knoxville certified. So if you guys liked today's video, if you did, be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below any other Eminem songs you want to see me do, or if there's other artists you want to see me check out. I try to read all of your comments, guys. I respond as much as I can, so please keep commenting and keep posting. Also, if for some reason you're here at the end of this video, obviously you're enjoying the content, do me a favor, guys. Support the channel directly. Subscribe with notifications on. As always, this is your reminder to stay safe, stay positive. It's Knoxville. I'll catch you again.